Welcome to the Millennial Mind, offering insights to modern leadership from various perspectives of the largest generation in the workforce, Millennial.
Don't compromise, just use your eyes. Take a look inside the Millennial Mind. Millennial, Millennial, Millennial Mind.
Now, leadership isn't a skill you learn one time and are good for life with. You could have a leadership mentality and a mental framework that makes you a good leader, but part of being a good leader means adjusting to the times. It's being able to connect to all sorts of people on a variety of topics. It's not just about being in charge and bossing other people around, and it's not just about knowing your technical skills better than anybody else. It's really a quality that makes up your character and who you are as a person. So as you know, I am Drew Carrick, the rapping CPA, and your show host of the Millennial Mind here on Evolve Now. And I have with me a marketing expert, guru, who we like to bring in to really help bridge the gap to inform not just accountants, but all industry professionals about the power of marketing automation, as well as work culture and the qualities that we need to look for in leaders going into the future. Nick Nappo from New York, my hometown. And Nick, thanks for being on the show.
Drew, thank you so much for bringing me on. I've been a big fan for a long time, as you know. I'm thrilled to be here.
No, it's great to have you. And I think it's really great to have a marketing perspective, because a lot of the times we talk to people who are just CPAs, talk to people who are in the accounting industry directly working in functional, technical accounting roles, whether it's tax, audit, or some sort of variation of advisory. As we know, advisory could mean just about anything. But the marketing aspect, I think, is really important. So, I know you've done a lot of work in the areas of just marketing automation and the demand for that amongst our generation. So can you give us a little bit of insight about what just, kind of high level, what exactly that entails?
Sure. So marketing automation basically entails creating infrastructures with an emphasis in email marketing that are meant to drive leads and drive revenue for an organization. So most of what I'm involved in the day-to-day is creating these really cool, intricate ecosystems where people receive emails, and based on other interactions they might have with other platforms on the digital marketing docket, they are able to become MQLs or SQLs, marketing qualified or sales qualified leads. And from that, they are passed over to the sales organization, who can then really strengthen the relationship with them that's already been started from the digital side, and then ultimately drive sales. So marketing automation is a way to nurture leads and really create content that is geared towards where the lead is specifically in the journey. And you can also custom create your content based on the particular industry they're in, based on whatever they click on, any action they might take towards your website or your social, whatever they might do in any area of your digital space. There is a route for them that you can create through marketing automation and really make the sales journey and the sales process and the thought leadership process the most valuable for them.
Okay, so it's quite interesting stuff, and I guess what I want to look at is, in your opinion, the sort of rub there, because I think a lot of people would probably hear automation and just think like bots, or think of robots, or think of like spam or type of stuff. So how do you create, where's that rub as far as like building that authentic trust, which I feel like now more than ever, having authenticity and creating trust with a consumer is so important. And that could be, a client, or it could be a prospect. But having that, authentic value there versus just the idea of creating sort of efficiency to cheaply just get a message out to a lot of people as efficiently as possible. So where does the line sort of fit in there in your perspective?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I think what a lot of companies do with email marketing strategy is they just throw content at their people. We're doing this, throw it at them, throw it at them, throw it at them, without actually taking the time to listen to their leads and understand the kind of content that they're really looking for, and the kind of content that they'll really need and that really engages with them. On top of that, they're not doing as much as they can to really integrate their email marketing strategy with their overall sales goals for the quarter and beyond. So it's, you know, when you say where's the rub for that, it's just a combination of listening to your publics and where they are and what they really need. And you do that through the understanding and the analysis of metrics, and then understanding what you need from a sales side. And then, you know, and also it's a marathon, not a race too, or a marathon, not a sprint. I mean, both of them are races, but one is longer than the other. So this is a journey that you take with your people and your publics over time to really understand what is engaging with them and where and what kind of messaging really lands with them. And then from that, you make the most informed decisions as to how to carry out your marketing automation strategy.
So I guess one final thing that I think a lot of people are probably curious and would love to know is there, from what you've seen so far, is there a certain strategy that has been working better than others, or where do you see the future of the industry sort of going when it comes to the strategies that work? Because obviously, you know, anybody that's had some sort of passion or interest in marketing has seen how marketing has changed over the course of time. Of course, like back in the day with billboards, to then getting direct email, to getting cold calls, to then the rise of the internet and email campaigns, and then with the rise of social media, seeing social media ads. So you know, what's that sort of differentiating factor that you see that now really helps bridge, you know, what the future looks like? What's the innovative solution?
Well, obviously in recent years, you have seen more of proclivity to merge marketing automation with social media efforts. But especially since the pandemic started, many organizations have been shifting towards a plethora of virtual events. And marketing automation serves as an invaluable extension to that, because when these events happen, that is an entree for leads into your organization. Once they attend an event, you put them into your CRM system, and then you can begin them on the track to nurture them through emails. You provide them insights in the forms of blogs, of white papers, of podcasts, whatever kind of content your organization has going on, based on how they actually came into your fray. And then on top of that, you can bring them into the fray for more events. You can just, you know, keep marketing to them. But the real entry point to that are virtual events, which I have definitely seen more of, and which is definitely going to be the way of the future, right? It's not going to go away anytime soon. So marketing automation looking into the future is going to be an incredible extension into virtual events as a means of really deepening the relationship that organizations have with their publics based on the attendance for the event. And especially if the organization has a strengthened sales force and actually has a sales component that understands the principle of sales, and, you know, has a combination of an old school marketing tactic and a new school marketing tactic, where they can really embrace those digital strategies and understand the digital journey of a lead, that is really going to separate them from other companies. So marketing automation, I'm absolutely sure, has an invaluable role in bringing leads not only to the forefront of the sales process, but really deepening the relationship a company has with their publics.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, this is one of the things that leaders, you know, need to be paying attention to and be aware of, is the fact that, you know, it's, you know, there was an old method, there's a new method, and now it's like a hybrid strategy that you know, you need to be, that's where innovation comes from. Innovation comes from taking two things and creating a hybrid version of it. It's quite literally the definition of what innovation is. And I think this is, you know, it's important for business owners, for firm leaders, regardless of industry, really, to factor this in as they're making their sales pitch and developing their marketing strategy overall. I mean, it's a key element. It's obviously not going anywhere. So it's been super insightful, Nick. Thank you so much for being here.
And just you know, closing, you know, thoughts on that. You know, as we were discussing earlier, Drew, it's a paradigm shift. Companies are going to have to change the way they're doing things and really sell and build relationships with their publics in ways that they haven't had to before. So, you know, as this isn't going away, like you said, it's the way of the future, and it's a way to demonstrate expertise without actually being in the room with the person. So to your point, it's the hybrid model that I think is really going to become more prevalent in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, with these sorts of skills, everybody, it's important to be thinking about them. And, as we know, the future is not going to be stagnant. It's not going to look like it did last year, and it's not going to look like what it looks like today. So these are the sorts of skills and areas that you need to be thinking of. And it doesn't really matter what role you have or what position you have, what your title is. These are, like you said, these are paradigm shifting, mentality based skills that give you a framework and a skeleton to build whatever muscle you need on, whether you need to bulk up for a role or whether you need to trim down and get slim for a role. It doesn't really matter, as long as you need to have that firm base and structure there in place to take on whatever sort of task comes your way. So this has been the Millennial Mind with your host Drew Carrick here on Evolve Now, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of the Millennial Mind. If you're ready to continue on your learning journey to become the professional of the future, click the link, start today, evolve now.